Hi, FightNGear here. I got something in the mail today I'm kind of excited about. You know, I did a video recently on a couple of 1911s, and one of them was a Kimber that I have, which is basically a safe queen, and I had so much fun shooting it I decided to put a different set of grips on it and start to use it a little bit more. Got in the mail from eBay. I know most people don't like eBay, but I do buy some stuff on there. A set of grips from JS Gungrips, and I haven't opened the package yet, but on eBay his seller ID is Jimmy, Jimmy, the grip, all one word, Jimmy the grip, and it's JS Gungrips. They looked great on eBay. They, in my opinion, they're cheap if they're anything anywhere near like what they look. 55 bucks including shipping. It only cost the guy a couple dollars to ship. When I ship a holster, it usually costs me about 13. But anyway, I've got the Kimber here. Go ahead and get it out. And trying to remember my YouTube etiquette here. I'll show you that there's no mag, and it is definitely clear. I'm going to show you, try to get some close-ups. So I've got the camera actually sitting a little closer than I usually do so that you can see. These are, they're good-looking grips. They're wood, and I mean, they look nice. You know, one thing about Kimbers, you can say what you want about them. Some people love them, some people hate them, but they sure are pretty. I will say that, and the grips are no exception, but I don't like shooting the factory wood grips for several reasons. I'm going to see if I can turn the light on this camera, see if that maybe helps just a little bit there. It looks like it might have. That'll give you a little idea, hopefully, of the luster on those grips and the gun in general. It's a very attractive gun. The reason I don't like the wood grips, when they're new, they have a pretty good diamond effect on them and a pretty decent handhold, but as they age, in my opinion, they smooth out much quicker than any type of G10 or whatever phenolic, micarta, whatever you call it, and they don't wear as well. Also, if you go to sell the gun and you've been shooting it a lot with the factory wood grips, it won't look as good. You won't get as much money. So typically on anything I'm going to use as a shooter that has wooden grips, I'll replace them. Now, grips are they're a real personalized thing, and I've not seen any of his grips in real life, only on pictures. So I may love them, you may not, we may both not love them, whatever, but what I went with, and I tell you right now, I definitely like the looks. I went with a G10 in a pretty much of an OD green with a black pattern in it. I don't know if you can see it or not. They look good. Now I suspect they're going to change the looks of this gun drastically. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take the factory grips off, put the G10 grips on, and I'm very much of a stickler with replacement grips for good fit. So I'm going to be looking to see how these things fit, and you know, if there's a bunch of gaps or something like that, I'll be very dissatisfied with them. But let me switch these. I'm not going to shut the camera off. Normally, it doesn't take long if they are good fitting to get a set of 1911 grips changed. So I don't know that it makes any difference if you put the same screws back in the same hole, but I always set the right hand grip screws on my right and the left hand on my left and try to put them back in the same holes. I put the top up above the bottom one, and I say, I don't know if that makes any difference or not, but that's just something I've always done. That one absolutely snapped on perfect. Now, like I say, I mean, it went right on with just, I mean, just perfect fit on the whatever they call those little screw inserts. I can't think of what you call those, but the where the screws go in to the inserts in the frame. And I can already tell you it's a radical difference. He does mark the inside of his grip with the factory logo and everything too, which I think is, excuse me, it's about 10 o'clock at night. I can't believe I yawn on these all the time. I'm sorry. I swear I'm not bored. But anyway, I think that's kind of a nice touch. And this one, same way, when it dropped on, it noticeably just, I mean, just snapped right into position. And it definitely makes the gun look like a completely different gun. Now, like I say, the looks of grips are subjective. I love these. Again, you may say, holy cow, what did he just do to his Kimber, you know, but they'll unscrew if a guy doesn't like them. I think they look great. And, I mean, they're just almost razor sharp. I don't know how he cuts the grooves, but I can feel them. I mean, they're incredible, and I know they're going to wear much better than the wood. One of the things I do right off the bat is I take a pretty bright light, and this is probably a little obsessive compulsive, but I am that way, and I actually shine it, and I look to see if there's any kind of a gap that I can see light through on the grips. It just absolutely drives me up a wall to buy a set of custom grips and have a big gap where you can see light through them. And I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not. I mean, there's nothing showing through. I don't know how much of this you can see, but I mean, they are absolutely perfect against the metal. I mean, the fit's incredible. I mean, his edges are straight. You know, I understand they're just 1911 grips. I mean, they're not, you know, they're not custom ivory grips for a Colt Python. But I mean, simple or not, I've seen a lot of grips that don't fit worth a darn. So I've gotten a lot of custom 1911 grips and been able to look and see slight waves in the edge, especially with wooden ones. I've actually sent some back that fit so bad. So, you know, those are incredible in the way they fit for 55 bucks. And like I say, it's a complete facelift in the gun. I'll be taking it to the range, shooting it, seeing how much different it is. I've always shot this gun fairly well. That's fairly well for me, not for a professional shooter. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see how much difference there is. Doesn't appear to be any noticeable difference in the thickness. I mean, possibly these might be a few hundredths thicker. I can't, if they are, it's they might be. I mean, like I said, if they are, it's not particularly noticeable. I have a big hand, so I've, you know, I guess if they were a little big, it wouldn't bother me too much, but I would still like them to be about the thickness of the standard grips, and they appear to be. Like I say, I'm pleased. This guy, he doesn't know me. I don't know him. I've never dealt with him before. I found him on eBay. I clicked buy it now. So I mean, he's not giving me anything. He doesn't know. I mean, like I said, there's no incentive here for anything. I was just excited about the grips, and I figure if a guy has a good product, I might as well give him a little plug. He probably has way more people following him than I have following me, if he's on YouTube at all. But anyway, like I said, I'm pretty impressed. He does have a website. It's www.jsgungrips.com. And I think I tore right through his address. Wasn't paying attention, but he's in Sycamore, Illinois, and it's JS Gungrips. I'm not going to give his name, but his first name's James, his last name starts with an S, so I would assume that's where the JS comes from. But anyway, that's pretty much all I got to say. I'll let you know more after I shoot them. If I notice any, any problems with them, I'll let you know. But I mean, the screws set down in there perfect. I mean, they just appear to be a heck of a fit, and they did what I wanted in two ways. They changed the look, made it a little more, it's a comical word for a guy like me to use because I'm certainly no commando, but it made it a little more tactical looking. And also, like I say, it'll keep me from putting undue wear on the factory wood grips in case I ever do decide to sell a gun. Anyway, I'm out of here. Check out my website, FightNGear.com. I make a real good inside the waistband holster, and I appreciate you checking me out. If you like my video, I'd appreciate it if you'd like it. I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe. It does help. It gets me a little more airtime and comes up a little earlier in the searches. And if I ever do decide to run any kind of an ad, it'll help me there. So anyway, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you again soon.